Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about if you haven't reached the success you want, why you haven't got there, a majority of you, why you haven't even started pushing towards this level of being amazing. And if it's your first time here, my name is Henry, also known as AstroTheWolf, and I help people reach their highest potential, motivational content, growth content, and relationship advice. So if you have anything, please let me know. And also for the people that keep returning back and stealing my content ideas and using it and applying to your life and getting better results, don't forget to hit that subscription button below. If you're new here, hit that subscription button below, the bell notification. Like the video and comment if there's anything you agree with or disagree with. Let's get it. So I'm going to be talking about the concept of what a drifter is, and I think that's what it plagues the majority of people in the world. So, Henry, Astro, what is a drifter, you ask? So a drifter is someone who believes they'll be rich with nothing to back it up. So I just have my little pointer here so it's easier for you to follow, but I doubt you can read what I have behind me, so I'm gonna read it out anyway. So I'll give you guys an example. There's this girl at this place I work at, and she said, we were talking one day, and she was telling me her dreams of being a millionaire, and she says, I'm gonna do it. And this has happened with me and multiple people in multiple conversations. So I like the passion and intensity, so I ask, okay, cool, what's your plan? Like, do you have any idea? And for this story purposes, I'm going to tell you what happened. But by the way, if people ask you your plan and you haven't even started, I highly suggest not telling them that, because the neurons fire in your brain to show yourself that you actually did the action when you haven't done it. So it kind of breaks down your motivation. But anyway, so I asked, what's her plan? She said, no idea. I'm like, do you have any savings? Nope. Do you have any investing? Nope. I'm like, so how are you planning on doing this? She has no idea. She just believes that she is unique and she will somehow do it with no idea whatsoever. It's a delusional mindset. It's one that cripples a lot of people in life because they just think they are unique and they are special because they know what they're capable of and they know what they can do when they lock in. But that's the thing. You know, but the rest of the world don't know, right? People, when they go to jobs to hire you, they look at you, what's on your paper and what knowledge you have. They don't look at the potential. And anyone that has ever dated someone for their potential, more likely than not, did not make a good choice, right? So make sure you have a plan. So that's what I put on the board for step one. What's your plan? Like, what are you working at towards your life? And are you using your SMART goals? So SMART goals, I think, is specific, measurable. I don't know, you could Google it, but like something along the lines, something that's like measurable and realistic within a certain time frame, right? So you have to be able to plot a course. What a psychiatrist, Dr. Ryan, says this, you have to be able to plot a course, right? If you're the captain of your life, you have to know where you're going. You have to acquire these skills, right? And if you don't know how to do this, a lot of people don't know what they want to be in life, which is fine. For the longest time, I stressed and I struggled with this. And I'm going to give you just a quick tip. So what I did is I went on this website called planet.net, and it gives just a career-based website, and it gives you all these options of, I guess, hundreds, or not even hundreds, I think in the zeros numbers, but it gives you all these careers you could choose out of, right? So I spent about 2 or 3 days, and I got it from my mentor, shout out Ben, and I picked the ones that I might remotely be interested in, right? So then I think I was left with about 30. I doubt everyone's gonna be left with 30, but for me, I'm so decent at a lot of things that my mind got kind of frantic. So whatever, find the amount of things that you would likely want to do, and then make a side note, pros and cons of it. And what are you willing to do? What are you not willing to do? And I suggest you highly push yourself, because it's easier to take the easy route, but good things come from doing hard stuff. No pun intended. Winky, winky. Anyway, so I did that, and then I realized, I'm like, okay, this things I'm more inclined to do, knowing myself and what I get passionate about. So I weeded down the list of 5, right? And hopefully the stuff you choose is like a relatively not common, but the skill set you need are transferable between each other, so that you can kind of just like, if one doesn't work, you kind of hop over to the other side. But anyway, so I weeded it down to 5, and I deep dive into what exactly it is, like each single one of them. And then I just, knowing my personality and what I think my sense of importance would be when I told people what I do and what I would like saying, I came down to what I wanted to do. And that's how I figured it out. So not everyone's gonna follow the same path, but I know a lot of people don't know what they want to do with their lives. So it's just a step, it's just a way to kind of fix a problem you might not know how to fix. I'm here to help. So 3, I got, what do you consume? and then I put wishful thinking at play. So when I say what do you consume, people usually think it's food, which is definitely a big part, right? Because you got to be able to eat healthy to be able to lock into your exercise. So you just overall your mind and body and spirit are just ideal if you want to have a good life, right? But I meant this as content. So obviously a lot of y'all might click off. I don't care. I want you to have a better life, but the content you consume is very vital, right? If you're on watching Love Island all the time or just negative news, this, that, and the third, your brain is going to reinforce negative information, which is funny when it's not really funny, but it's easier to do that because as humans, we have a tendency to react more to negative news. And this is because like if you look at it from an animal standpoint, it helped us survive more when we knew the bad news or we knew something bad. If you've seen a fruit or berry you never ate before, you're more inclined not to eat it, right? When a predator comes at you with eyes like this evil looking eyes, and it's kind of like you have to get in a fight or flight mode. That was better for our survival. So it's kind of ingrained into us, but we have to, not just power, being able to know this, you know how to avoid it, right? So it's easy to get addicted to the negative news, like gossiping and stuff like that, but it's not helping whatsoever. If you need to have your course planned out so you know which way you're going, right? And even if for me, I forgot who said this, but I'd rather die on the journey of achieving my goals and knowing what I do than even getting there, right? So just knowing is half the battle. The rest is up to you. So try to just be able to consume good content, educational content, stuff that'll help you in the long run. And if you guys like this hoodie, message me because I got it. Oh yeah, clothing brand is tough. Oh yeah. But yeah, so being able to just avoid the problem before they arise is what the wise do. So be wise, please. And yeah, if you can watch more educational based content, that would be ideal. Helps with your dopamine receptors because just bringing out videos isn't doing you any good. Okay, so these two are kind of together, more or less. So one now I got, what are your defensive triggers? So if you can avoid this, these usually turn to vices, so avoid them. So I'm going to talk about vices in a bit, but your defensive triggers are stuff that when you're feeling stressed or you're feeling anxious, you want to procrastinate, stuff like that. It's the stuff that prelude the actual thing that you end up doing, right? So for example, I noticed before that if I were procrastinating or if I was stressed, procrastination would be a vice. If I was stressed, I'd binge watch a bunch of anime, I'd binge watch a bunch of shows. I would go out and play a bunch of sports with my boys without, like, when I have homeworks, this, that, and the third, right? So what are those defensive triggers? And being able to, you have to really be in tune with your body to be able to notice this, right? So I've started this app, and I'm not sponsored, but it's called the Liven app. So every day you don't have to do it every day, but it's beneficial if you do. You write down what you're feeling and where you are when you're feeling it, who you're with, like what happened, right? And you the more you do this, the more you start building a correlation, right? Correlation is not always causation, but sometimes it is. So the more you can build a causation, the more you feel what you feel, the better, right? And the way, I don't know about you guys' bodies, everyone's different, but personally, from my own experience, when I'm feeling angry, I feel my stomach start heating up, right? And that's kind of a step or sign for me to kind of like take a step back or kind of navigate the conversation in a different route, right? If I'm feeling an emotion of love or something, I feel my stomach kind of get lighter, right? So it's kind of like a feeling. And it's like doing this, like I've done a lot of work on myself, so I don't think people are gonna be able to tell this by first glance if they're feeling this. But what I've realized is a lot of these emotions and a lot of these frantic things are due to breathing, right? If you're having sexy time with your partner, like you usually like climax because your breathing is too rapid, right? A lot of stuff is breathing, right? If you're in a fight and you're feeling nervous, deep breaths are holding 1, 2, 3, 4, letting go is breathing, right? Sometimes you have to lie to yourself like, oh, I'm not anxious, I'm excited, because those two are kind of the same type of emotion depending on how you play it, right? So that has helped me a lot prevent the triggers of my vices. But being able to be in tune with your body, and next time you're feeling any emotion, just take a step and realize what you're feeling. That helps a long way, right? If you know yourself more than the enemy, you can't be defeated. But if the enemy knows you more than you know yourself, womp womp. Okay, so on to the next one. What is your vice? So I put some common vices here: is weed, alcohol, PDs, which is porn, and anime. So this is stuff that people turn to when life is beating their ass. Life is life is just dealing with them, right? ADHD kicking at my butt. But life is just beating their ass and they don't know what to do, so they turn to what they're most comfortable with. I had an ex who would always turn to alcohol. I used to always turn to majority of these weed, PZs, anime. I used to always turn to a majority of these things, right? And it's good in the short term, but you have to look at yourself in your life like this. Imagine your future self as someone you love and care about dearly, and you want to do favors for them. You want to make your life easier. There's times that I've literally left money in my own pocket and found it months later. Maybe not on purpose, but that is so amazing. I'm like, oh wow, awesome. There's stuff that I've set up so that me in the future is good. A lot of people are only thinking about the today or not, and which is tough because I'm reading this book, Thinking Fast and Slow, and they talk about gambles, right? Let's say you're not from a financially stable household. A lot of people make gambles, so people who are from a richer nation, they're more risk averse. Everybody's risk averse, right? But someone who has like 50 million is more inclined to want to keep their money than like be risky with it. And someone from a poor background, it's different. You don't look at gains and losses. You're more in a mindset of losses and losses. So if you aren't from the best neighborhood, I don't blame you whatsoever, but it doesn't mean you can't set future self up for success. The present might be the time you have to sit down, grind, put your head down and get to work. And I hope if you don't heed my advice, you find this video again, because I'm going to say this piece of information. Sometimes you're at a point in your life where people have brought you to the water. You are the horse and you literally can't drink yet because your mind isn't there yet. If I were to go back in time and tell my high school self, do this, do that, this, that, and the third, I didn't read enough, I didn't do enough to have the knowledge I have now to know which path to take. So I would just fall back into my vices, which is fine. But I am just letting you know, if you can change, if this video changes one person's life, though, my job is done, because there's two ways people can learn. Either through wisdom of others, reading books, stuff like that, or through pain. And I really don't want you guys have to go to pain, but I feel like not majority, but I feel like some of y'all are gonna have to learn that way if you don't heed my advice, right? So yeah, and if you're an older person watching this, make sure your mind is open. I don't care how you have to do it. Just look at it from a different angle, because I really hate teaching people who are older than me, because majority of the time they just go off the angle of, oh, I'm your elder, I know more. Physical age isn't the same as mental, spiritual, emotional age. People need to get that. If I'm giving advice and it's through my pain and suffering, and I know what you don't know, regardless if you're 1 year or 10 years down the line, please heed my advice. Please. Because I like to think I can learn something from even a 2-year-old, right? The Bible, the book of Proverbs talks about, if you can't take advice, like a fool is the only one that can't listen to criticism or correction, right? So don't be a fool. So I know it might be tough because a lot of people might be hooked to their vices, but it's something you have to do, right? If it's not benefiting you and you're not doing it moderately and you can't control when you do it, you have to learn how to defeat this demon that's trying to take over your life. One way I personally done this is I woke up and this is from my therapist, Levi Washington, who is an amazing mentor also, but I woke up every day and I was trying to just quit, right? So I would put a tick on a piece of paper, just like this, like 1 tick. You guys see from here? 2 tick, 3. And this is for every day, right? So every day, either when I wake up or not going to bed. I did it because when I woke up, because I heard this theory of like when you do stuff in a sense of like you already completed it in the future, it helps. So it helps, but like, I'll say take that with a grain of salt, because sometimes you do the vice throughout the day and then you have to erase everything, but whatever. So let's say for this instance, we're doing it at the end of the night. So time for bed. I didn't do my vice. Tick, 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 tick. And then eventually you're gonna be left with a myriad of ticks, a various amount of ticks, which, because of your perspicacious actions, right? Which perspicacious means doing the right things in the right moments. But when you get this, You will look at the sheet one day and say, this is a lot of ticks. Wow, I'm proud of myself. I've done this. It helps with self-esteem. Self-esteem helps you achieve your goals. Self-esteem is knowing you do hard stuff without telling anybody. So please don't tell anybody. It's me and you right now, but it's mainly you in this battle. So when you look back and you see this piece of paper, you'll notice how far you've come. And it's going to reinforce that you can do it, and it's going to help you because you've seen your results. It might be tough the first week or two. I had to redo it 3 times, but don't give up. Yes, sometimes winners quit to focus on the one thing they've learned to focus on, but do not quit yet. Like, please. And it might be tough, but it gets easier through time. It's like running, right? First day you might be getting your ass bust. Second day your ass bust a little bit less. Third day, 3 months down the line, you damn near sprinting, baby, right? So yeah. And then last but not least, I already kind of touched upon this at the beginning with the food eating, but take care of yourself, right? Take care of yourself. I don't want you guys to go hard and burn out throughout the year. Like, I don't want you, there's no point going hard 9 months of the year and burn out for the last 3, because then you're still gonna get back to level 1, right? So what do? I personally take myself out to dates. Like, I might take myself in a food spot. Today I worked really hard all week. My body hurts. I did some stretches and I bought a wrap from Wendy's. It was $3. It doesn't have to be expensive, right? But make sure you are showing yourself you love yourself, right? Because a lot of people show other people they love themselves and then they don't get the energy back and it eats them inside, right? So take yourself out. If you're a girl, girls and guys, that's not really specific. Get some ice cream, watch a movie that you love with a burning passion. Do something to show yourself you appreciate yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you have confidence and self-esteem, and it exudes to the rest of the world, and people love you for that, and quite frankly, you love yourself more. Right? So let me know in the comments below if I missed anything or if you resonated with a lot of these things. Hopefully I can help at least one person, right? Goal is to eventually help 1 million people throughout the world, trying to get to 100K subscribers, which might seem super crazy because I'm only at 71 right now, but I believe the more content you pump out, the more value you give to people, the more people will appreciate that. So hopefully y'all can join the journey. Wolf Gang, peace. Death before dishonor, baby.